Hello, good afternoon to everybody.
Hello, good afternoon from my side as well. So let's see who is there. We have Noel. Hello, Noel. And we have Ursula from Austria. Very warm welcome. And then we have Trinidad. Hello, Trinidad. And Steffi just joined in as well. Great to see you all, ladies.
Hello, good afternoon.
And Morgan Le Notre. That sounds very French.
It's very French.
Great. It is already a couple of minutes past 3, so actually we wanted to start in time today. So let's start the webinar of today. I may say hello to everyone and a very warm welcome to our webinar. One of the few webinars Vestia promised today, we're taking you to one of our Asian countries and our Asian destinations together with Easia incentive. And our lovely colleague from France, actually, her name is Anne Martin, and she will be our, how do you say, pilot today, taking us to Vietnam.
Totally right.
She's working for Asia quite a long time. She's very well experienced in that region. I was joining one of the fun trips that we did to Vietnam with Asia. I think that was 3 years ago. So I know the destination as well, and I'm very excited what happened in that destination, what is new. And I'm also very excited to see all of you showing interest in the lovely destination and learning about what has changed in that exciting country of Vietnam, with a long story and a long history and amazing places to see and to discover. So as you know, some of you have attended our webinars. We're going to mute the microphones for the beginning. At the very end, we have our question and answering part, meaning whenever you have questions, please take notes. And at the very end, you have the chance to ask your questions, or you're going to use the chat function. If you scroll down to the bottom of the screen, there is a chat symbol. You can type in your questions if you don't want to speak to us. So that's it from my side, basically. I'm going to mute myself as well, and we're going to concentrate purely on Anne for the presentation. So I say have fun, enjoy Vietnam, and thank you very much for joining and taking the time.
Thank you. So good afternoon, everybody. So let's go to the presentation. So we will try to keep it for 45, 50 minutes, because we know that as well we have some other things to do this afternoon. So concerning Vietnam. So I will just a small introduction. So I will make a small introduction about Easia incentive, of course, an update about the COVID. Then we will go through Vietnam from the north to the south, and then a small part about sustainability. As Norman said, and feel free to ask questions during the presentations, or we will keep as well some minutes at the end of these webinars. So Easia, so I will say that Easia incentive as well, it's under the umbrella of Easia Travel, so with the main company. So Easia Travel as well, included as well Easia Exclusive and Easia Active, who are some other brand as well of Easia Travel. We are really specialized in Southeast of Asia. So we have the 5 main destinations are Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and Thailand. I will say that we really get the expertise. The company was built in 2000, so we'll celebrate soon in August our 20 years. We have in total 14 offices that are spread all around the 5th country, totally owned by Easia, and we have of course then staff of Easia incentive among the 5 destinations. We try really then our best always then to keep, of course, the quality, to find as well new activities, new hotel. We go as well very often to check the quality of the service of our suppliers. We have a full-time guide that work only for us, and of course, then some as well, freelance tour guide. A small summary, so then you will be able, so especially for Vietnam, so we have a team in Hanoi in the north, as well in Da Nang in the center of Vietnam, and also in Ho Chi Minh City, so Saigon in the south. And as you can see as well on the map, we open after gradually as well to Cambodia, to Laos, to Myanmar, and the last destination we opened in 2015, West Highland. It's the same concerning the sale office. So we are also all around Europe to really be close to you, to answer your questions, but as well to come to see you in case you need as well more training and some help when you need to present program to your clients. The full team, so of course, then Easia incentive is represented by STR Promise with Carol and Norman, who is with us today. And as well, so some of the team members, I would say team leaders as well of our incentive team for Vietnam. We have Antu, who is with us for more than 15 years. We have also Anyok, who is also with us since now for more or less 5 years. And myself as well, based in France, but always in connection with Vietnam, with Cambodia, with Laos, Thailand, with all the destinations. I will say that the other important part will be, of course, and a small update about the COVID. So this is the last figure we got this morning. So as you can see, compared to Europe, it's only a few cases, and it's important as well to be informed that since April 17, no new cases. So the government reviewed the regulation, I will say every week, more or less. They stopped the lockdown by the end of April. Everybody at the office came back, everybody at the office and came back, I will say, to normal lives and really come back to work, of course, with the distance and of course with all the rules that we also have in Europe, with the mask and as well with the hydroalcoholic gel. We also advise everybody, at least at the office, but also it's advised by government to really wearing the mask as soon as you are in the public area to really protect as well the other. One also important information is that Vietnam, the Vietnam government, confirmed that no commercial flight to go to Vietnam before September 16. So it seems to be in very long time, but on the other hand, it's very short. But important as well to note that Vietnamese or expats as well that living in Vietnam can really go all around the countries. Then Halong Bay, Hoi An, the north as well of Vietnam or the south, everything is reopened. The hotel will start as well to reopen to welcome domestic tourists, to really relaunch as well the business. So nothing, it's not closed at 100%. It's the same, I would say, that in Europe, especially now that we start as well our summer season. It's exactly the same for Vietnam. They start as well to re-travel again to their own country. Important for you as well to know, and we have as well a health and safety brochures, and I directly put the link on this presentation. I will send you this presentation at the end, so feel free as well to go to Clink. It's really as well to give you some of the information of how we will welcome the participants of the group, concerning as well the different rules, and as well concerning the rules that we give as well to our suppliers to make sure we all agree on the same things. And also, we really, just recently received the WTTC news stamp for the safe travel. So it's the whole Easia travel company, included of course an Easia incentive that received this certification. It's really then to show that we adapt a global really standards, health and hygiene protocols, that everything is really well prepared to really take care of your client during the incentive trip, during the stay in Vietnam. So this as well, you can find as well more information about WTTC on their website directly. Then let's go to Vietnam. So maybe some of you already been to Vietnam. Vietnam is really a very long country. It's more than 331,000 square meters. So it's more or less the same size as Germany, but it's a very long country. with to the north borders with China, to the east with Laos and with Cambodia. So the landscape, it's really different. As soon as you go to the north, you get really nice rice fields in the north, in the region of Sapa. In the center, you're really close to the beach. In the south, it's more as well, more dynamic. Saigon, it's a very big city with more than 9 million of inhabitants. So it's really a booming city that it's interested as well to visit. So today, the different places we will discover together will be Hanoi, Halong Bay, Danang and Hoi An that are very close to each other. I really more focus on Hoi An because it's a very historical city. Then we will go to the south to Ho Chi Minh, and then we will talk as well about some beach extension that we can do in Phu Quoc, within the south, in the small island of Phu Quoc. So you will be as well able to experience all that things. Important, the international flights. We have in Vietnam 3 international airports. We have the one of Hanoi, Danang, and Ho Chi Minh. Important for you because Hanoi, and Ho Chi Minh get direct flights from Germany and to Germany with Vietnam Airlines. Frankfurt to Hanoi, we get 6 flights per week, and to Saigon, to Ho Chi Minh, it's 4 flights a week. Danang don't get direct international flight to Europe, but they get international flight to Singapore and to some other country around the Asia region. So to Singapore, but as well to Bangkok and also to Siem Reap in Cambodia. The other companies that are working well as well with very good connection to Hanoi, to Danang, to Ho Chi Minh, we have also Thai Airways, Qatar, Emirates, Singapore Airlines, and you have also Lufthansa, of course, in Germany. The flight time, if we go to directly Frankfurt to Hanoi, it's only 10 hours. Frankfurt to Ho Chi Minh, it's only 11 hours. Most of the flights, then you flight most of the time during the night. So if you leave Frankfurt in the evening, you will arrive so the next day in Hanoi. So this is very convenient as well. The good things as well, in case then you want as well to do some cross-border, there is also borders that are open with Laos and Cambodia. So we don't necessarily have to fly. For example, between Ho Chi Minh to Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia, we can do some cruise, and then the border will be passed by boat directly. Some of the season, so when is the best time to travel to Vietnam? Of course, and if you're in the north, if you're in the south, in the center, it can change a little bit. But most of the time, in general, I will say that from March to June, it's perfect, or October to November. Vietnam, especially the north of Vietnam, Hanoi has a very similar climate to us, to Europe. I would say in the winter, it's quite cold. Of course, it's not snowing, but it's quite chilly, I will say. So that's why we will try to avoid to travel really to December, January, February, especially if we go to the north and also to Halong Bay. Sometimes it's happened that when you travel to Halong Bay in that time, you don't really see the different, you don't see the water, you don't see really then all the big rock that pop up, I would say, from the top. So really March to June, and then October, November, September, October, November can be the really nice season to travel all around Vietnam. The different trips you can go. So you can really focus, and the good things with Vietnam, it's really because of the international airport, you can really decide to visit only the north, only the center, or then the north and the center, or the north and the south. All the options are possible. You can go in Hanoi and go out to Ho Chi Minh. And then you just have one domestic flight to reach the north to the south. We will never go from Hanoi to Danang, or Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh by bus or by train. It's not comfortable and it will take too much time. Hanoi to Danang, it's only 1.5 hours. Danang to Ho Chi Minh, it's exactly the same. So it's very easy and quick to reach all the cities. Other things as well is then most of the domestic flights will be operated by Vietnam Airlines. So in case from Germany, from Frankfurt, you live with Vietnam Airlines, you can as well get very good advantage and good price if you book as well the domestic flights. The beach extension in Phu Quoc. can be reached from Hanoi and as well to Ho Chi Minh. So you can also decide only to do the north and then to keep going to the south to do this extension to Phu Quoc. I would say for Vietnam, everything is possible. You can really, as well, you can start with the north and finish with the south, or start with the south and finish with the north. It really depends on what your client is looking for. Then let's go deep to visit Hanoi. So Hanoi, it's really the capital of Vietnam. Hanoi, I will say it's around 6 million of inhabitants. The city of Hanoi, it's really, I will say it's the old, we go mostly to Hanoi really for the authenticity, to discover the charm of a Vietnamese cities. There is still a lot of tradition, a lot of old building that coming from before 1950, I would say, before really all the colonial period from the French part. So you can really find as well all the very nice pagodas, stupa that come as well from the old time of Hanoi. The Ho Chi Minh, for example, some of the buildings, so the Ho Chi Minh Museum, the Temple of the Literature, as well here, the Temple of the Literature. What we can do in Vietnam, what we can do in Hanoi, it's to use as well the all kind of transportation. So the cycle rickshaw. The thing is that with this kind of transport, of course, your client have nothing to do, just to enjoy and to have a look around. We can use the rickshaw to go only for one transfer from one place to another. And for example, to go for lunch, to go for breakfast, or for example, when we leave the hotel, to go to one of the museum. It can be used as well to do a kind of rally in the middle of the city, then to focus and to take picture and to really have a look at something a little bit different. It's totally different as well than from the bus. You can really enjoy the city. As well, some of the traditional acts, traditional, I would say, arts that we can find in Hanoi, it's really the calligraphy that coming from the Chinese part, I will say, the calligraphy can be done, can be really private for the groups and can be done from 1 hour to 2 hours. We can just make the calligraphy, and as well, your groups can try a little bit and get on knowledge about the calligraphy. This can be possible, I will say, in the outside of a pagoda or inside the temple. It can be both. I will try as well, I will not talk as well during this presentation about all the touristic monuments that we can visit in Hanoi. There is plenty, so this as well can be the good combination to visit as well some of the historical monuments of Hanoi, but also to do some of the activities. Some of the evening as well that are quite nice, to do a nice gala dinner in Hanoi can be, for example, the National Museum of History. We can, of course, start this evening with a small visit inside the museum, and then we go outside the museum. Then we are surrounded by all the very nice building of the museum. And we can really, as you can see on the picture, really as well tailor-made all the decoration. It can be, I would say, white tablecloths to black tablecloths. We can as well put screen. We can also have different kind of entertainment and music. Of course, we have to respect some of the rules concerning the end of this gala dinner. So it's in general until 11 p.m. And in that kind of place, we are not allowed to have a DJ. But of course, after this gala dinner at the National Museum, we can keep going to a rooftop or to some other nice places in Hanoi to do, for example, a dance party, to do an open bar after this dinner. Some as well of the nice show that we can do during the dinner can be a circus show. It's a very modern show, a modern circus that are totally different from what we can find in Europe. I would say it's mostly as a Cirque du Soleil that we can find in Canada. It's really this troupe really focus on the history of Vietnam. So don't need to understand Vietnamese, don't need as well to have a deep knowledge about the Vietnamese culture, but this circus show will really tell you more about what's happened in Vietnam through the different centuries. So this as well, this troupe, this circus show can be done as well at the historical museum. and can be done, I would say, everywhere with a space big enough in Da Nang as well in Saigon. The troop can go all around Vietnam. Some of the hotel as well during this presentation, I will try as well to show you some of the different hotels we have in the different city. The Sofitel Metropole is the oldest hotel we have in Hanoi. It's very, very beautiful hotel. Really located in the city center, very close to the opera, close to the lake that are in the middle of the city. And it's really one of the, I would say, piece of art. It's really magical. When you go inside, you can feel a lot of things. So a very nice 5-star hotel in the middle of the city. Another one that can bring as well something that you can feel that you are outside of the city is the Intercontinental West Lake. The thing is then very close to the city center of Hanoi, so close to the old quarters, but on the other end, most of the room offer very nice lake view. So you feel at the same time a little bit of outside of the city. So it's a good compromise if you don't want to be in the middle of the city with the noise, with the, I would say, with the active, I would say, I don't find the word, then the traffic, the active traffic of Vietnam. And if you go to this hotel, Intercontinental West Lake, you feel really outside. And then a more modern hotel, a 4-star, but as well a very good location is the Hotel de l'Opéra, very close to the opera, which is located in the middle of the city, by M Gallery. So all the decoration, it's really sophisticated, very modern. And it's one of the architects, to be quite famous, I would say, in all around Asia, Bill Bensley, who built this hotel. So I would say it's a very good compromise between 5-star and 4-star because the design, because as well the decoration is very different than the other. Some of the things as well that I want to highlight, it's then the first Formula 1 Vietnam Grand Prix that was normally planned in 2020 and really moved to 2021. So for 2020, it was really planned at the beginning of April, so it can be really something quite interesting for your client if they are, I don't know, in the automobile sector, or if they like as well to attend this kind of event. It's really the first time in Vietnam. The Grand Prix will be during 3 days, so it will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On the third day, we will be able as well to see as well all the training and to visit as well some of the different parts. So if you are a client really interested on that, feel free to ask more questions. We will start as well to build specific program to attend the Grand Prix. Let's move to Halong Bay. So Halong Bay, as you can see on the map, it's very close to Halong. It's very close, sorry, to Hanoi. Halong Bay, Hanoi, very close to each other. So Halong Bay is really a UNESCO site since 1994. It's very well known for all the karstic islets, small pieces that are surrounding the bay. So as I mentioned just before, when you go, for example, to Halong Bay in January and February, you have mostly this weather. So sometimes a bit complicated to see all the karstic mountain. But when you go, I would say from March to June, you can really get that view of that bay. The legendary in Vietnam said that it's a dragon. All the karstic rush go all around. So you need to get some imagination of what it can be. How to go there? There is different way. So of course, and the best, then I would say the much nicer. I will start with that. The much nicer will be then to use the small aircraft, to use this scenic flight to go from Hanoi to Halong Bay. It's taken me 25 minutes to reach Hanoi, and maximum 12 persons inside of each scenic flight. What we do is that the luggage, of course, will come by bus to allow us to get more persons on each scenic flight. The company we work with have 3 aircraft. So it's meaning as well, we can divide. In case, I don't know, you have a group of 100 persons, it's still possible. The flight will go back and forth. So of course, we will have to arrange some snacks, some drinks, so to see how we can do the planning. But it's really an experience because as you can see on the picture, it's not then only the experience of that scenic flight, it's because you will also discover the bay on the different way. I will say some of the funny way. Then, of course, the train has nothing compared to the train we can find at Europe. But it's really an experience to use that train to travel as the Vietnamese. So what we do with that train is that from the city center of Hanoi, we reach the train station. If you stay, for example, in the Sofitel Metropole, it's only a 10-minute walk. So very easy to reach the train station. Then we take the train during 1.5 hours to reach the next train station, and then we have to keep going by bus. I know it can be a bit complicated then to arrange as well this kind of true transfer, but it allows us then to cut this time because we know that by bus it can be quite long. It's 3.5 hours. It's a very nice road. I would say it's a totally paved road. It's a highway, but of course in Vietnam we don't drive as fast as in Germany. So that's why as well we have to adapt and our speed on the road. So that's why the train can be the good option to cut a little bit that road. On the train, we can save some drinks, some snack. We can also, I don't know, ask some person, some ladies or some men to come for some massage. We can also organize some game. We can do many things on the train, and we can easily privatize all the carriage only for us. I just got back a little bit to the map, just to let you as well understand a few things about Halong Bay. As you can see, then the airport to Hanoi to Halong, it's 3.5 hours drive. We have 2 other airports that are very close to Halong Bay. One is located 60 kilometers and the other one is located 50 kilometers. Those two airports would be useful for us when we finish the tour in Halong Bay to move to Da Nang or to move to Ho Chi Minh. But of course, from Hanoi, as the distance is quite short, it's only 160 kilometers, we cannot fly, I will say, with a normal aircraft. Only the scenic flight will be possible. But on the way back, keep in mind that we don't have necessarily go back to Hanoi. If your trip going to Da Nang or to Ho Chi Minh later, better we fly with we leave from the airport that are close to Halong Bay. Then in Halong Bay, what we can do, the best really way to discover really the bay is to use the kayak. It's very easy because there is not a big wave on the sea kayak, so it's a very nice spot. We can do maximum 60% at the same time, and in general, we recommend to do it during 1 hour. After that, it can be a bit boring or people can be a bit tired. Some other activities as well can be the wellness moment. When you are like that on the sundeck of the boat, it's really the perfect moment to do a Tai Chi session, to do a yoga session. You can do many things. So it can be, of course, early in the morning. It can be late in the afternoon. We can do at the time we want. We can also organize, I would say, some foot massage on the deck as well, on the sundeck. It can be as well, I don't know, some funny game that we can organize, or just easy, just to enjoy the moment. In general, people really like it. Concerning the different dinner thematic we can do. We can do the dinner on the top of the deck. So according to the size of the boat, according to the size of the groups, we can set up at least for 80, 40%, depends of the size. As well, in terms of decoration, we can do a lot of things. It's really tailor-made each time. So it really depends of the thematic you wish to give to the dinner. It can be really a Vietnamese evening. It can be a black and white. It can be as well, I don't know, and Vietnam at the beginning of the 20th century. A lot of things can be done. In general, we recommend to do a buffet because then we can just put it in the middle of the deck because the kitchen is really downstairs, so it will not be that convenient for the guest. And also in terms of entertainment, we can have a Filipino band. We can also ask as well some singer to come from Hanoi. It can be as well classical music. It can be just a saxophone. Everything is possible. Some other option can be a dinner on the beach. Totally different feeling, totally different things. I really like that pictures and we can really see how we set up things. So what we do is that we rent a part of the beach And all the catering as well come from an outside company. So it's not coming from the boat. So we are not dependent of the organization of the boat. It's really two different things. The same in terms of decoration, in terms of entertainment, everything is possible. But mostly we recommend to do, I would say something not that fancy, a barbecue, a very nice buffet with some live cooking, because people can move, can go around. And we reach the beach with small boats. So easy as well. So the big boat will stay offshore, and then we just take the small boat to come close to the beach for that part. Some of the junk. It really depends of the size of the group. We really find the best junk for them. Some of the junks, so for example, for that one, have more than 31 cabins. So of course, we have different category, and the cabin can be located on the first point or on the second one. They all equipped the same. Then AC, toilet, and shower on board. Can be double bed or can be twin bed. Both are possible. Of course, life jacket, lifeboat on spot. This is really one of the most luxury boats that we have. We have as well the Indochina Sails, so sorry. Indochina Sails is a bigger company. So they have, I think it's around 6 or 7 boats now. So this one, for example, have 15 cabin, and the other one have 23 cabin. So it can be as well, in case we have a big groups that need as well 2 boats, it can be as well 2 boats of the same boat company. But we agree that for the dinners that we will do on the top of on the sundeck, everybody will meet in only 1 boat, even if we have 2 boats. It's the same, of course, if we do a dinner on the beach. They will do the lunch on each boat, but for the dinners, they will be really all together. So this one, it's more traditional, but we don't really use the sail. Then we use the motors and to go all around. So this one, it's a bit bigger. As well, in terms of decoration, in terms of design, Indochina is more, I would say, classical, traditional for that. So some of the other picture of different chunk as well. So to give you an idea of the size of the boat and as well the quality of the boat. I just would like to do a small parenthesis of Ninh Binh. So Ninh Binh is the terrestrial Halong Bay. The good thing is that if you want to keep going only in the north of Vietnam, it can be a good option and can give as well some plus on the visit of your client, because we can easily do Hanoi to Ninh Binh in 1 day. So in case your group have 1 more day to spend in the north of Vietnam, Ninh Binh as well can be a good option. Ninh Binh, it's only 2.5 hours from Hanoi, so no need to overnight. And concerning, so the period is the same as for the rest. So it's really the same as Halong Bay, as you can see, but on the land. So you can really go around with the small boat, but as well you can do all the bicycle tours. And also the good thing, since all the catering option we can have around Ninh Binh. So we can really recustomize, we do a very nice thematic lunch or dinner. Then as you can, then if we do dinners, of course, it will be a bit more complicated, and we need to stay overnight. But this as well can be done also for lunch. So it can be along the water, but as well it can be in the temple. So it can bring as well some additional plus to your incentive trip to Vietnam, something with less classical of what the other can do. Then let's go to the center. Let's go to Hanoi, to Hoi An and to Danang. To reach Hoi An and Danang, it's easy. We just have to fly from Hanoi or from Ho Chi Minh in the south. I would say that we always, in general, visit Hoi An, but the group will land in Danang and the hotel will be in Danang. The cities are very close to each other. Hoi An is very the old city. Danang is the new city that has been built outside of Hoi An because the population in this part of Vietnam really grew a lot. They built as well this international airport. There is also a lot of hotel along the beach, because Hoi An is not really along the beach compared to Danang. But the two cities are only, then from the nearest point, only 10-minute drive. The city center of Hoi An to the international airport of Da Nang, it's only 40 to 45 minutes. So the two cities are really linked. So in general, what we do is that we spend more time to visit Hoi An. So this old charm city, as well as you can see on the picture, it's up here. I have some nice picture that will give you a really more overview of how the city is. Really all that building of the old part of Hoi An. Hoi An has been very well famous when the boats were going from Europe directly then to Asia. Then they were really passing Hoi An and they were stopped for a few days. So that's why as well, the history of Hoi An really changed and really was built around all that boat, all that merchant ship that stopped in Hoi An at that time. Hoi An is listed as well among the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Hoi An as well is very close to one historical city, the historical city of Hue. So as well bring a lot to the history of the country. The food in Hoi An, it's really different than the north and in the south. It's the good things in general about Vietnam. What the gastronomy that your group will discover would be really different, and they will experience some specialty from the north, some specialty from the south, some specialty from the center, depends where they go. So this is a Da Nang. As you can see on the picture, you can see then Da Nang, it's really a big city that really grew since the, I would say from the 1990, beginning of 2000, really then 20, 30 years ago, then really Da Nang became the first city of Vietnam. For us, what is interested in Da Nang, it's all that very long beach, and all the hotels are located along that beach. So in general, as I mentioned, what we do is then it's better for your groups to stay here, because once they come back in the late afternoon to the hotel, they can relax, they can go swimming, they can enjoy the beach, they can enjoy as well hotel with a lot of facilities. We don't have all-inclusive hotel, but we have a lot of, I would say, activities, restaurant and bar inside of the hotel. So that's really as well make the difference. If we stay in the city center of Hoi An, it will be only small boutique hotel. So for incentive group in general, we don't have enough room and we have really to split the groups. So that's why we prefer and we recommend really to stay in Da Nang. In some of the, then compared to where is located the hotel, it's really 10 or 20 minutes from the hotel in Da Nang to the city center of Hoi An. So really make the difference. So some of the, then let's go to the, as well, some of the activities that we can have. As you can see then, only, it's a good place as well for the groups to relax and to walk back themselves. When they will be in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh, the city are really booming, there is a lot of traffic. All the city center of Hoi An, it's only walking streets. No car, no bus, no traffic, nothing. As well, Hoi An is really famous for everything that it's tailor-made. For the clothes, but as well for the typical lantern, for as well the tea ceremony, for the tea as well, for the food. They do a lot of things compared to some other part of the country. And the charm of Hoi An really make the difference. So of course we can organize a visit with the guide and everything, but it can be also just then the group by themselves if they want to get some free time. Hoi An is just perfect for that. What we have as well outside of Hoi An, it's all as well, all the vegetables garden that are grown as well around the different villages. Hoi An as well can be, it's a project, especially in the Trackway village that Easia supports since many, many years now, because all that vegetable farm bring job to the farmers that are located around it. Also because the big city of Da Nang, it's not that I would say that will bring the job to a person that's into the school, but for the person that have that are poor, that have no chance to go to the school, then they will still work in the vegetable farm or in the rice field. So in the trackway village, it's what they do. Then they help as well the people with living around to give job to them. So that's why as well, it's nice, and we like as well to propose these activities as well to share moments with that community that help really the people, the villagers that are living around. So the good things as well is to go to trackway. We can go by bicycle. We can also go by Vespa. So this as well can be something a bit different to discover as well Hoi An. In Hanoi and in Saigon, of course, will not be allowed to drive because there is a lot of traffic. But in Hoi An, with all the small paths that are around in bicycle or in Vespa, it's really a nice moment. The Vespa can be for 1 or 2 persons, and the participants will drive by themselves. So it will bring some challenge to them. It can be as well a kind of rally or treasure hunt that we can do all around Hoi An and the countryside. Some other, I would say, activities, it's if we want to go a little bit further, Hoi An Danang, to visit as well of the Cham temple or some of the mountain, but as well the countryside and some of the village, is to go with the jeep. The participant will not be allowed to drive the jeep because the rules between Vietnam and Europe are a bit different, but it can be one of the options and one of the interesting tours that we can do. In general, it's take only half day. So during 4 hours, they will all go all around to visit something a bit different. It can be 2 to 3 persons, but if you have travel, if the participants are mostly couples, so we still need 2 persons, and we can go up to 40 jeep in Hoi An. Also, along Danang, we have as well some very nice islands that you can go for 1 day. So we use in general, so this kind of small speedboat to go there, because we can be there in only 30 to 45 minutes, and then we can just spend the day on the island. On the island, we can as well ask, we can do a barbecue lunch, we can do as well a normal lunch, it can be as well a caterer will come to do it. Also, we can organize some of the activities, some beach volley, some snorkeling, some as well, I don't know, challenge that you wish to organize in case it's a really incentive trip. So the good thing is that it's not that far from Hoi An. Some of the nice moments, nice thematic dinner that we can do, it can be in some of the garden of some of the restaurants, but as well, the thematic can be according to what your client like. So for example, for this one, it was really to recreate a typical Vietnamese market. So with the decoration, with the lantern, with the musician and everything. As well, it can be in the temple of Hoi An that really make the thing as well, that for a farewell dinner, it really brings something different to your client. But of course, the DJ party will not be possible in that temple, but with all the traditional music, we can as well provide the traditional Vietnamese clothes, the outside. So it's a very nice moment for the client. And as well with all the entertainment, especially with the lion dance that are very famous during the New Year's Eve in Vietnam in February. Some of the hotel, so as I mentioned, all really along the sea, the beach with so the beach, it's not private because it really belongs to the government, but at least as we can, every single hotel have as well some private sofa, some private chair on the beach that can be accessible to all the guests. So we have, so it can be the palm garden, and as well this one, I will say like that one. Bring as well a small plus to the group, because every single room have a private pool inside, on the small patio as we can have here. So in general, we really recommend that hotel for that private pool if your client is interested with that. Then let's move to Ho Chi Minh, and I will try to go a little bit faster because we more or less switch the time. So Ho Chi Minh is a very dynamic and booming city. As you can see with all that tower, Ho Chi Minh, it's 9 million of inhabitants now. But I will show you as well another part of Ho Chi Minh later on. So Ho Chi Minh or Saigon, you will probably at both. It's a very the economic heart of Vietnam. It's really, as the Vietnamese call it, really the shopping centers and all the commercial, all, I will say the big company in technology, new industry, will be based in Ho Chi Minh. It's really interesting, but on the other hand as well to see the difference, because as you can see in the picture, they still have some very old church, or as well the old post office, but as well with all that new building that are coming up, that are pop up from everywhere in the city. So we can do some more classical things, as a monk blessing in a very traditional pagoda of Ho Chi Minh. We can do as well, of course, some city tour in the colonial, and we can use also some of the vintage car to go all around the city. So only for transfer for dinner time, or also just to visit the city instead of to walk or to take the bus. The guide, the driver, so can give also some other comments. So we can also think to give some road books, so as well to develop an apps on the phone, and to give some of the details as well to the groups. It can be as well with the Jeep, because we get as well quite a few in Ho Chi Minh. So it can be as well to discover the city. It can be for dinner. It can be to go from one place to another. A lot of different options. And the Mekong Delta. So as I mentioned, Ho Chi Minh, very booming, very modern city. But only 2 hours drive outside of Ho Chi Minh, we have the Mekong Delta. The Mekong River, so it starts really in the north of China, Tibet, and go south from Laos, Thailand, Cambodia to finish in Vietnam. So really the delta, it's really the last part of the Mekong River. So it's really bring a lot of, I would say, a lot of richness as well to all the farmers, to all the rice field that we find within the south of Vietnam. So we can do a lot of activities, of course, and we can use the boat to do the small cruise. We can also do the bicycle too. And the good things, it's also, as in Hoi An, it's really to discover the local life, to discover really how the people are living, and also to take part of that, as well to share some nice moments with them. There is also some of the NGO that are also developing some other projects to try as well to bring them some more comfort to improve as well the way they work. Sometimes as well we can contribute to restore the fishing boat, or also to bring some new tools for the community as well to work, or also to develop some new parts in the farm for them then to grow in the better condition, I would say. Then we go back and forth. So then we go back as well to the center of Vietnam and to do some nice moment. When we will do some dinner in Ho Chi Minh, we will try as well to focus sometime more on the modernity, on the new things that Vietnam can bring, and can be as well with the Vespa, to do a Vespa tour, something very nice. So you start from the hotel, and then you go to take the starter in one restaurant. You go to take the main course in another one, the dessert in another one. Then the Vespa will be driven by a Vietnamese driver, and your participant just have to follow. And we can go up to 100. So of course, we'll not stop in the same restaurant at the same times, but we will all meet together at the end for the last drink. We can do as well some dinner cruise, of course, on the river that are, I think, through Saigon. We can go up to 120, 130% for the privatization of that boat. And some of the very nice as well places that we have now in Saigon, it's all the rooftop. So some of the rooftop can be, we can of course then privatize the whole place if you're up to 200, or just small part. In general, some of that part, then you have the bar, but as well inside you have some part where we can do the dinner. So it can be a full farewell or gala dinner that you can organize on this rooftop. Or it can be as well only an after party. So for example, we finish the dinner cruise that will end around 11 p.m. and then we can move to that very trendy bar on the top of some of the rooftop to finish the party. So it's really booming a lot. For Saigon, I would just focus in Saigon. We have a lot of hotels. So we have all the big international brands that are in Saigon. We have Intercontinental, we have Pullman, we have Sofitel, all the big one, but I really want to focus on one. We call it Hotel des Arts. It's the same M Gallery and the one we have as well in Hanoi that it's calling Hotel de l'Opéra. It's also because the localization within the city center of Saigon, but as well for the charm, for the decoration, and also for the rooftop in this hotel that I really want to focus on that. Just the small things about Phu Quoc. Phu Quoc, it's really the small island that are really in the south of Vietnam. As you can see in the picture, really Phu Quoc offers some very nice straight beach. It's only 1 hour flight from Saigon, and we have also direct flight from Phu Quoc to Hanoi. So if you go only the north, you can still do the beach combination at the end. Phu Quoc can be really, really visited more or less all around the years. Then July and August, it's raining, but we'll not have incentive group during that time. But from September to November, and then from February to May, it's really the perfect time. So only for the beach, then just to relax, it's just perfect. In Phu Quoc, it can be then as well the snorkeling. There is also some pepper plantation, so we can do some of the activities, but most of the time people will really relax. The last hotel that opened, and for me is really the best one, is the JW Marriott, really located then on the most amazing beach that we can have, as well, offer as well a lot of different options for the room, but as well in terms of activities and in terms also of dinner and places as well to organize some personalized moments for the groups. So it can be a dinner on the beach, it can be as well an aperitif on the garden, a lot of things that are possible in that hotel. Another one that as well have a very good localization and very famous as well for its very nice open beach, it's really the Novotel. Also, because this direct access to the beach, some of them, they will say, some of the hotel will say that they have it, but not really at 100%. So for Phu Quoc, it's really what we will focus to really get that direct access to the beach, and as well all the facilities, activities, and option for dinners where your group will be able to gather all together after the day. We don't have in Phu Quoc, we don't have in Vietnam all-inclusive hotel. So this is something as well that you have to keep in mind. And I will go quick but important, short but important, about all the sustainability projects that we have. And I really want today to focus on one project, which is the refill and not landfill project. We know that plastic is really bad things, something that are really worse for the planet. And with that refill not landfill bottle, it's all of us not to use anymore the plastic. Then we have the big bottle that we provide, and that big bottle will follow the groups on the bus, or will be as well one of the stations at the hotel. And we sponsor as well some of the refill stations all around the trips that they will have. But it's all of us to save the planet, because not to use daily the small plastic bottle. Because for an incentive, for groups that we have, for an incentive trip that we have, that we normally provide 2 small bottles of water per day per person. So you can imagine at the end of the trip, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, how many plastic bottles we use that are not recycling. Because in our country, in Southeast of Asia, in Vietnam especially, the recycling is still an issue. So by using this bottle, it really makes a big difference, a big change. As you can see on this one, then for some, it can be, we can easily put the logo of your client. We can as well put the name of your client. Everything is possible with that bottle. So it was one of the concern projects. Here we go. So I don't know if you have some questions. I don't know if you're still here. If I can, feel free then to tell me if I can help, if I can answer questions.
Is there any one of you ladies having a question in regards to the content of An, or any of the regions that we might have missed maybe? If so, then now it's time to dismute your microphones or use the chat function on the bottom of your screen. Just type in your question, and so we are happy to answer your questions. And if no, then Anne, you have done a great job. We have done anyway. So it was a lot of information. So Trinidad is having a question. You mentioned the buffet on the boat. Is this not changed due to new protocols?
It was meaning then for the cruise in Halong Bay?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So are buffets still available during the Corona time, the COVID time?
Yeah, the Halong Bay reopens in beginning of June, end of May. I would say for the local, for the Vietnamese and for the expat that living in Vietnam. So of course they all respect the protocol, meaning then they really clean more than before with all that solution that we must use. As well, the staff will wear the mask, and as well we get the gels and as well to clean the hand. And they really try as well to focus on more hygienic rules to really protect all the passenger of the boat. The thing is then for the moment, the protocol we have, I would say it's valid from now. And of course, step by step, I would say in September, we will probably as well have some new rules, new protocol according to the opening of the border. When Vietnam will really open on September 16, probably as well the Vietnamese government, the tourist office of Vietnam will give us as well some more rules to respect. But for the moment, I would say that the rules are pretty similar to the one we have in Europe.
Okay, great, perfect. She was thinking about the issue of the self-service, like everyone is going to the buffet and grabbing something. I know that in some European destinations or countries, it is like there is still staff member standing at the buffet, and the client is just showing, I want this and this and this, and then the staff member is going to serve it, although it is in buffet.
Totally right, totally right. I think it's something really, then this we have really to check case by case according to the boat. But I would say this was already the case before. In some of the buffet, in some, I would say, of the boat that offer as well higher services, the one we use, it's already the case. Then sometimes really in the buffet, it's not necessarily the guest that will touch or will take the food by themselves, but the staff will be here as well to help. And I'm sure then from now on as well, they will really consider that way of service than the other one. Mm-hmm. I would say as well for the boat, especially for the lunch time, it's mostly set menu. It's not only buffet. Buffet will be especially when we want to do a specific dinner or a thematic dinner. But in most of the boat, for the breakfast and as well for the lunch, it will be on set menu. It's already the case in set menu.
Great. Perfect. All right. So I see that the ladies attending the webinar, they don't have any questions so far. We have cleared now the question of the buffet. So thank you for that question, Trinidad. If there is no other questions so far, I would say we're gonna finish the webinar then. Of course, if you have any questions coming up later after the webinar, please feel free to drop an email to Anne directly or to myself from STR Promise. I mean, you have our contact details anyway, and we are more than happy to answer your questions. And Anne and her team, they will send you the information, the presentation anyway for the webinar. And if you have any other regions showing interest in and you want to learn something more detailed about any of the regions, just let us know. We have plenty of sample programs that we can send to you directly.
Totally right, totally right. So thank you everybody for your time, and I will send you as well, I will send you the presentation and also the webinar that we record today. So in case you have some more questions, and you can have a look on the presentation, or as Norman said, feel free to send us an email.
Great. So I also want to say thank you very much, Anne. You did a great presentation and for putting all your efforts and all these information that is of a high value to us. So presented very well. Thank you so much. And thank also you ladies for joining the webinar, for taking the time, and hopefully you have enjoyed our trip to Vietnam, and hopefully we can meet again in Vietnam. Yep. How about that?
All right. And feel free to come as well on Thursday. We have one more training about Cambodia. So if you want to keep traveling in Southeast of Asia, then feel free to register.
Great, perfect. So hopefully see you on Thursday, and if not, see you any other time. Stay healthy, and thanks again for joining us. And now enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and see you very soon, hopefully.
Yes.